Florentino Perez has beaten Riquelme in the election process, and he is once again going to be the Real Madrid president. With that, of course, Jose Mourinho arrival is just, on the cards. It's already basically done. But we have to talk about the transfers. What transfers does Mourinho want? What are we currently looking at? And there are some big, shocking moves that you probably haven't heard about. So if you like this video, please comment, like, subscribe. Let's get straight to it. Now, this is the first thing I want to talk about. I'm telling you, the 150 million player is a bomb. It's so unexpected. When they told me his name, I was frozen in shock. Jadon Sanchez. I mean, it might just still be Olise, guys. I'm not gonna lie. We don't get triggered by this, okay? We're gonna talk about a potential player from Atletico Madrid that it could be, but I don't want him for 150 million. We're gonna talk about it at the end of the video. I still think it's gonna be Olise, and that genuinely we will just send the bid, and that's all we are gonna do. So yeah, that's my thought on this, but I just wanted to mention at the start of the video. Let's get into the Bernardo Silva break-in. Real Madrid have now seriously joined the race for Bernardo Silva. Jose Mourinho wants him, and it's now a real possibility. Maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago. What a signing, guys. What a workhorse. What a warrior on the pitch. So technical as well. Now, at his age, I don't see it. I'm sorry. I know Jose Mourinho wants more depth. He wants players that are going to be fighting on the pitch. But I think Bernardo Silva is so far, off his prime and off his best now that we missed the train. I think he fits the Barcelona system way more. I think he can help them a lot more. He can help Simeone at Atletico Madrid as well. I think Atletico Madrid are the top runners for Bernardo Silva as well now. But Real Madrid is really interested, and yeah, we want to sign him. I don't think it's the best signing. I think Mourinho is looking at it from the perspective of, yes, he's going to help us. Of course, he can help us. But as I said, Atletico now consider Real Madrid their biggest rivals for the signing of Bernardo Silva, not Barcelona. Yes, Barcelona have been moving a little bit early. They jumped the gun with Anthony Gordon, and then they suddenly can't even sign Bernardo Silva, and they suddenly can't sign Alvarez. I don't know what's going on there, dusty club anyway. But Real Madrid being a rival for Bernardo Silva, it doesn't really interest me. I'm not gonna lie. If he signs for the club, I'm not gonna be too happy. I don't think it's the best signing. But am I gonna be angry at Mourinho? I don't think so. I think he can be a good squad player. That's about it, though. I wouldn't even count this as a signing towards anything we want to do next season in trophies and in the big games. I think he would just be an option off the bench and maybe start in some smaller games when we need to rest some players. Hopefully, his contract wouldn't be too crazy. If he wants a crazy contract, I would absolutely put a stop to this right now. Because if he wants a lot of money, we don't need this. A lot of money for this kind of player at this age, I just wouldn't say that Bernardo Silva is worth it. Yes, I know he can be, he can be good in big games still to this day, but he has that bozo gene, especially against us. Against Real Madrid, even though he performed really well in his prime and in his best years. Look at this year, he did the handball with the penalty when Vinicius scored at their stadium. I just think he is really past it, and I wouldn't go for Bernardo Silva. If we sign him though, hey, Mourinho, you got something explaining to do, and he has to show himself when the season starts. So this is not a good signing for me, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Next up, we have Jose Mourinho has told Real Madrid that they need to sign a left back. We already know this, but he wants to compete for a starting spot in the starting 11 because once again, I have previously said in my videos, I don't really trust Carreras. I don't, feel too confident with Alvaro Carreras. I think he has a lot more room to grow, and his potential is really high. But Real Madrid doesn't need potential; they need ready-made players. So if there is a guy on the block, like I would sign an elite left back or a left back that's around the same level. Just battle it out. We need competition. Competition is the healthiest way to improve in sports. It is, guys. And if one player doesn't like the competition, he is not cut out to be a Real Madrid fullback. Now, Jose Mourinho, since the day he came, he seems to think the absolute same. He doesn't trust Mendy because of the injuries. Fran Garcia is just inconsistent and not reliable. And Alvaro Carreras, he thinks he has a lot more time before he's actually ready to be the #1 undisputed starter at Real Madrid, which I'm so happy about. But this is a little bit weird now. He wants an elite left back, elite center back. Yes, sure, we want another center back after Konate, but that is a clear option. That is a clear option. We don't need two players. We just need this guy. We need Gvaridol. This is what he said, okay? Jose Mourinho has told Real Madrid that their biggest weakness is defense. We all know this. Yes, we have problems in the midfield. Yes, we have problems in the attack, for sure. But the biggest problem is the unavailability in center backs and the inconsistencies in the fullbacks. Because very Valverde has to play there. Carvajal wasn't good enough. The season before, it was Lucas Vazquez. Then when Trent comes in, he plays well, but then he gets injured. Carreras, not really that great. Let's be honest, guys. Last season, Fran Garcia never plays, and Ferland Mendy's always injured. In the center back department, it's even worse. It's Militao always injured. Raul Asensio inconsistent. Rudiger seems to be absolutely washed, and David Alaba is not even at the club. Dean Huijsen's still young. I think he's gonna develop way more. But I completely agree with this. His top priority is to build a more solid, reliable defense with sufficient options to face a long season. Yes, that's exactly what we need. This is exactly what we need. More stability. We don't need flipping Saliba right now. We don't need Gabriel. Yes, I would take them. Of course, I would take Pacho. I would take Upamecano. Sure. But that's why we are signing Dumfries already and Konate. We need more stability. What if, Konate at 6 months at the club isn't even starting, but two center backs get injured? Wouldn't you rather have Konate than David Alaba, who's leaving the club, or Raul Asensio? For sure. He has more experience. He can be much better, because last season he has suffered with crazy amounts of mental stuff, and the club has not been doing that great. And Dumfries is the same, even though he has been injury prone the last 2 seasons, which he has played around 20 to 25 league games, which is not the greatest. He fits the profile of being a backup or even a starter. That's the competition that Mourinho is talking about. And this is the biggest thing for me. The coach loves Joško Gvaridol. For Joško Gvaridol, I would give the green light tomorrow. Spend even 90 to 95 million on him. Versatile as a left back, exactly what he's looking for. Versatile as a center back, exactly what we are looking for. And he is elite at both positions, and he can still get better. Let's see, of course, how he performs in the World Cup, how it looks with Manchester City. He might not be available to leave, which is completely fair enough. But I would prefer him much more over Ricardo Calafiori. If you gave me both of these signings and told me Calafiori would be around, 50, 40 million, sure. But I think Calafiori is, first of all, a little bit overrated. Second of all, even more injury prone than Gvaridol, and has not done even the same as Gvaridol in the game. Gvaridol has won the Champions League. He has been a part of elite teams for Pep Guardiola. And even on an international side, he has been a starter for Croatia for some time. And when he's not been injured, he's been one of the best left backs and center backs in the Premier League, which speaks for itself. With Ricardo Calafiori, there's so many mistakes, and there's so many, just unconvincing things about him. Not even maybe on the pitch, just outside of the pitch, especially with injuries. I would focus 100% on Joško Gvaridol, yeah? I would just be focusing on Joško Gvaridol because I think he's, first of all, better. I think he can get better than Ricardo Calafiori. And even though he would cost more, I think if he wants an elite center-back who can also play left-back, which, we get 2 things with one player, which is the best thing in football right now. And I think Gvaridol will be available. I think this season was just a huge blip, even though the injury was serious. I hope he has a great World Cup, and we do look to sign Gvaridol after the World Cup, of course. Now, Real Madrid really want Enzo Fernandez this summer. I think Enzo Fernandez is a great player. I think he can be even better. I don't think this is the final version of Enzo. But once again, there is something about Enzo. I don't feel that we need another egotistical player in the midfield. I don't think that signing Enzo right now is the best decision of all time. Would I take him for a reasonable price? Sorry. Of course, the money is the question with Enzo Fernandez, and there is a lot of money involved. But as a player, I think he's great. Does he offer exactly what we need in the midfield? I don't think so. I think we need something that's, a player that's a little bit more deep, that's, receiving the ball, playing out of the back. He's a little bit more of an attacking 8, I would say, more of a 10. But he's a great player. But when I saw this, Chelsea want 140. Yeah, stop there. They know Real Madrid are interested. If I was Real Madrid and heard this one, I am not interested anymore. Let me tell you that much. 140 for Enzo Fernandez is where it ends. I don't care how good he is. For 140 million, I am only getting attackers. I'm only getting attackers and Vitinha. That's about it, bro. I'm not even going to entertain this Enzo Fernandez. If you are really that much money and Chelsea want that much money, you can stay in London, buddy. Next up, the 150 million euro, another candidate. Even though Olise has been heavily rumored, and it will probably be still Olise that we will be sending the bid for, even though, you know, the chairman of Bayern has come out and basically absolutely turned down every single thing that we have said about Olise. There has been so many rumors about Olise. It can be Vitinha, João Neves, and the bid of 150 million. And after, of course, we have talked about that Perez is, you know, once again the president, and Mourinho will probably get, you know, announced today as the official Real Madrid coach, even though the presentation will probably be on Wednesday. I think Olise is absolutely impossible now. Vitinha and João Neves are apparently not for sale. Kvaratskhelia is still on the table. It has not been revealed what Kvaratskhelia wants, but once again, why would he want to leave PSG? The same goes for Doué. These players are all in their club who have just won 2 UCLs back to back. And it genuinely points to Julian Alvarez because we want to steal him from Barcelona. That's what people think in these, you know, reports. But when you look at this, honestly, when you look at this, Real Madrid rate Julian Alvarez very highly. For sure, I rate him highly as well. They have asked about him, which has come out to not be true. Real Madrid said no comment on this, literally zero idea about this. And then the agent of Julian Alvarez said, we have not met with Real Madrid's representatives. We know nothing about it, but we respect Real Madrid. That's what all they said. And Atletico would sell if an offer of 150 million arrives. First of all, Atletico, if they would actually sell to us, they are absolutely shameless. I get this is crazy money, but they are absolutely shameless after twerking for Barcelona, then absolutely having to be rage baited by them on Twitter and posting AI videos of Barca and AI, you know, graphic of Lamine Yamal, which is still nuts to me. They're willing to sell to us for this price, but we don't even want him. Guys, I saw this question and like, sure, Julian Alvarez is a great player. Julian Alvarez to Real Madrid. Sure, I will take him. For like 80, 90 mil, where does he even fit? Where does he even fit? Does Mbappe go to the wing? If you're telling me that, and Julian Alvarez as a false 9, Julian Alvarez as a striker, which he really isn't a proper number 9, he fits with Mbappe so good. He doesn't score too many goals. He isn't goal hungry. He doesn't have to shoot every shot. He's so good, you know, in like those miscellaneous situations that are just like the free kicks or the corner kicks and those long shots in the UCL especially. We're good of that. He fits the Real Madrid profile of a player, especially of Benzema. But 150 million? 150 million? We can get a player that's 90, 80 million. We can wait for another player to rise. Or we can give Endrick a chance as a false 9 or as a right winger. Guys, this money is crazy. 150 million for Olise, sure. Generational right winger, battling with Lamine Yamal, who's the best right winger in the world. I would be open to it, but they would want too much money. They don't want to sell. I get it. PSG players are of the market as well. But Julian Alvarez, for the money that is being thrown around for this guy, I don't think there is any possible way that for me, this would be a good signing. And any possible way. Now, I want to ask you, of course, before we end this video, Julian Alvarez to Real Madrid, yes or no? Say your thoughts on Julian Alvarez and especially Bernardo Silva because of those, you know, rumors to Calafiori, Enzo. We have been hearing those before, but Bernardo Silva has been slowly rising up to this point where we have been heavily linked to him now. And Julian Alvarez is just, for me, it's absolutely impossible that we bid 150 million on a player and it is Julian Alvarez. I would be so mad. Like, why are we making an offer for a player that, first of all, only scores against us and has like 8 league goals? 150 million is a lot of money. I think we can buy like 3, maybe 2 players in this market, sure. But he doesn't even fit the system. Where is Endrick gonna play? Why is Nico Pass coming back? How is this system gonna look like? Where is Mbappe playing? Where is Vinny playing? Then I don't know. Does Vinny get benched? Does Mbappe get benched? Do we sell anyone? There is so many uncertainties with this deal that I would never even think about it. But these rumors are currently coming out. I don't think they will actually be true, or I hope so. They won't be true, but hey, these have been the transfer rumors, another episode of Transfer Talk. I hope you have enjoyed it, and please answer me. Do you want Bernardo Silva, and do you want Julian Alvarez, even, if it isn't really possible? Now, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one, and please, if you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe, and comment your thoughts. Don't forget. Peace out, guys.